The idea here is this master, he has been able to generate that much metal. Does anybody here have 560 pounds of gold? And in fact, you can infer that he's actually generated a great deal more because he's got enough money himself to go off to Fiji and spend a couple of years in Fiji on the spare in addition to that. So this guy is not stupid. And he understands that leaving his money in the hands of one of his servants with the authority to invest that money incurs the real possibility of loss. And one can infer that he understands the nature of risk and understands all of that. So I will suggest that when he comes back, he's got one servant that's got, boss, I bought 5 magic beans and your 2 talents of gold or silver are gone. What he's going to do is he's going to say, all right, what did you try and do with it? How did you get from here to there? And if that servant was doing reasonably prudent things with that money and it just didn't work out, that's a risk that the master took. And he knew he was taking that kind of a risk. The 2 servants who go out and invest that money understand the character of the master. And they understand that he's given them tremendous resources here and he's expecting a return on it. So they better have a prudent plan for how they're going to invest or trade with that money, and they better have a good recording of what they did, because the master is a stern master. But the master also understands that investment is uncertain. And you can get lost in this because the first 2 guys each doubled his assets. And you can read that as he is expecting you to double his assets. And I'm suggesting to you that that's not the case. I'm suggesting to you the message here is he wants you to take a risk with the assets he's given you. The fact that the story is set up so that each of them doubled, I don't think is the point of the story. The point of the story is they took what they were given and they put it out there in the marketplace and they put it to work. And yes, it did double, and that's wonderful. But the operative message here is he gets really upset with the guy who doesn't put it to work. All of these parables he's been going through, remember we started off with, when are you coming back? And the answer to that is, that's not your problem. The answer to that is, it will not be a surprise to you. And what I want to have happen when I come back is to see you doing what I gave you to do. And the question then becomes, how do you know what it is he gave you to do? That's where the word talent, being an English cognate, is really useful. Because each of you has talents, as in the way we use it in English. And I will suggest that the talents he gave you are a clue as to what you're supposed to be doing. For example, he did not make me a musician, so I'm not supposed to be a worship leader, or I'm not supposed to be leading a brass band. That's not my talent. My talent happens to be teaching. So as long as I am teaching and doing it in a way that I hope brings glory to him, I'm not particularly worried about when he comes back, because I think I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that doesn't mean in a church. You've got businesses that you run. You've got families that you have. And the question is, are you running those businesses in an ethical and godly way? Are you raising your family in an ethical and godly way? In other words, are you doing the things that would be pleasing to him if you were to walk in the door? And if you are, then it really doesn't matter when he walks in the door. That is what I think the point of all of this is.